curious that you are not different from them, that you are not better than them, that you don't have advantages, that you have not made a trade-off with God or with the devil. Life is in a way a burden for some people. People think their lives are unfulfilled, living behind masks. Of course, they are, and they feel this way, and they want to make sure that you are not better than them. That's why misery works so well, because so many volunteer to guard it. In school, I didn't have a special gift. There is no way to value being able to look through people. I understood very early on that the world around us is put in neat shapes. I understood early on that people preserve their templates, that they put in a lot of effort. Yet this was a gift to see the world in its true nature. A gift I had, maybe a gift to see through those masks, to see reality. But yet this gift was in vain in a society where people hail being inauthentic, hail to be different than who they are, where people don't want to be who they are but crave for someone or something beyond their reach, someone they pretend to be. I was not an artist either. Once I heard my painting teacher in school that true artisanship would have the ability to see through things, to see the true nature of things. Yet I never understood why art is so distorted. I never understood why art is not clear, lucid. The goal of life is not to distort reality and meaning, but to clear the world, make it visible. There is no thrill in playing hide and seek. This is not what people want. This is not the thrill of excitement, because we all are living in our authentic relationships. We all are living in a world where we conceal our true natures. We don't need someone or something to distort reality. No, we have not reached the true nature of things. We have not reached how things truly are. We still look through the mask into the world and think that mask is reality, and therefore we try to distort this reality, this fake reality, and call it art. I was no storyteller either. I could not make up stories. I could not just presume that there has been me, a hero, a protagonist who does something extraordinary. This is how stories are about people who do something extraordinary, people who do something which you do not encounter every day. I could not see that. I could not warm up for that. Maybe it's the slow pace society is. Maybe it's the way we all see things. But in our world, things are not extraordinary. In our world, things are walking slowly, in a slow pace, predictable, and not enticing. stories would create something beyond that, something beyond the dull and mundane life. I was not that. I could not make up stories. This was not me. I had this ability to see through people, but this ability had not much, did not get much recognition or any accolades. But once you see that people are walking through the world in mask, you know what they desire and crave, because it is written on their mask. It is written on the templates they are wearing. Those very templates, which is a cry for help, and by the time devoids them from all pleasure. Those templates, they are like a drug. The longer you use them, the more you need higher doses to get your kick, to get your thrill, to get any satisfaction in your life at all. And I understood that people don't want to talk about things. They don't want to be spoken at or pointed at the mask they're wearing. This is social etiquette. No one wants you to do that. No one wants you to point at someone's mask and call him out. This is not how it works, because no one can do this, despite the fact that you could actually mock people for wearing ridiculous masks. In this society, you can't, because everyone is wearing a mask. Everyone is somehow ridiculous. However, I understood that people have developed some sort of an object fetish, that they have lost their minds in the object, that they want to talk about objects to enhance the mask they are wearing, beauty, makeup, what have you, to make their masks more beautiful, to make their masks more appealing. People want to talk about things, but why? Why about things? Because society did away with peace, showing off or bragging about one's own accomplishment became taboo. Back in the days, people would show everyone what they are, who they are, what they were accomplished, and no one felt ashamed of it, of being too successful, of being wealthy. But more and more this became needy, something the social etiquette does not want you to brag about your accomplishments, because others are left behind, others are mortified. This is some sort of self-care for others, and yet in a way relief, so that you don't have to compete for those resources which everyone is fighting for. And this led to the circumstances that everyone is self-centered, but trying not to be self-centered. In a way, some sort of inauthentic humbleness, fake humbleness, which does not represent reality, which is distorted, trying to minimize the impact of the world, trying to be appealing to society, trying to be not successful, trying to be ordinary. In our time, it has become the demand, trying to look normal, just ordinary, like the guy from next door, the all-American girl, and she did not accomplish much. She is the same, she stood the same, just someone you would like. And while doing so, they are wearing a mask to hide their true nature, humbleness hidden behind a mask. And this led to an exclusion of oneself in every conversation, in every opportunity. People stop bragging about their accomplishments, just try to be humble. And this led to the fact that people became desperate because now their self was lost. They could not talk about themselves anymore because this was considered as arrogant, as self-centered. And of course, then humans started to interweave their idea from self with objects, because they're about objects. They could talk about mere things. Everyone assumes that people only talk about things because of aesthetic values, because they have an eye for beauty. But what many do not know is that people do not talk about objects. No, they talk about objects as part of themselves, objects which represent themselves, which are an extension of themselves. Humans became sensitive to subtle distinctions within objects because these distinctions, they are about themselves. They can help them to identify themselves. They can help them to be who they are, and they could some sort of satisfy their need, satisfy their hunger. They crave the attention for their invisible self. Somehow my ability to look through people paid off. Later, looking through people was the seed of me becoming a very good salesperson, seeing those objects, what people want to identify themselves with, what they crave for. I helped people to dwell on an idea of themselves, where the prohibition of the self is left out, where they can talk about an object like they would be talking about themselves. I learned not to sell an object, but an idea of people's self. Later, as a sales person, I understood how important it is to talk about things, to entice people's curiosity and draw people's attention. I could talk about things. I could hit the spot where everyone felt comfortable talking about themselves. It is like watching people talking about themselves and really enjoying it. And some sort of it comes to them as a great relief, a space they have as a safe haven where they are freed from social convention, where no one is judging them, where they can brag about themselves, where they get recognition for who they are. Maybe a person behind the mask, maybe this a person who's been hid away from the world. I knew how to hit that spot. I knew how to make people understand and crave for more, because this is what it is all about, to make people crave for more and make them insatiable.